My name is Vomir Soares, and I serve at the Cornish Chapel as the outreach pastor. Recently, I've been to Ukraine. They invited me to go work with the church. Our main focus was to encourage the church, the pastors, the leaders, the youth leaders, telling them that they are not alone. And we had people praying for them, crying with them, and that was just incredible to see their response. We got the Olympic facility at Dnipro. It's a safe place with a shelter on the basement of the building, and we were able to do a soccer camp with them. A lot of youth are inside the home for 2 years. You can imagine their minds and how they be really depressed right now. When we could talk to them and bring some hope through, the scriptures, to them.
My name is Kristen Van Dyke. I serve on the worship team and set up and tear down, and I've been coming to the Corners since fall of last year. I work for a ministry called Crescendo, and Crescendo is an international ministry, and they've been running a summer music festival called the Crescendo Summer Institute. It was in Tokai, Hungary. Essentially, it's summer school for classical musicians. It's like the best time where you spend, in this case, 2 weeks where all you do is play your instrument. Primarily, it's a missional opportunity to be in an environment that is rooted in Christ, where you can learn about God, become a better musician, because the classical world, it's very perfectionistic and judgmental, and really it's a secular dark place. So yeah, the goal is to both become better musicians and to grow in faith and to evangelize. I played on the worship team. I gave the first opening devotional for the retreat. I emceed the whole experience. Then I led a small group, which I had never done before, but I was so inspired by my small group leader, Will Raspert, and so I felt very equipped to do it.
A lot of people say, man, you're crazy going to Ukraine, it's a full war happening. But my life belongs to him, and I just want to serve him where he wants me to be serving him. So we were in Dnipro. Dnipro was less than 1 hour away from the front, and God protected us. We've heard sirens, we had to run to the bunkers, but he just protected us. He helped us to do everything that we were supposed to do, meet with the people that he wants us to meet. So in those divine appointments, it wouldn't be possible without obedience.
I've had so much work apathy this last year, just so many emotional things. Before I left, I was experiencing some depression, and every time that I went to my computer, I would just think, Lord, I have nothing to offer. I'm probably gonna cry. I have nothing to offer here, and so Lord, work through me, and to experience the richness of like all of that struggle, and then to see how God really worked in that. Like, it's not me, it's God. So that was so inspiring and such a good lesson.
I want to be obedient to him. And I know that he didn't give us a spirit of fear. When we look at the book of Isaiah and the prophet was saying, hey, here I am, send me. I want that to be my reality no matter what. So I don't know where the Lord is gonna send me next, but I'm just waiting, for that. And I want to say, yes, Lord, here I am, send me.
Growing up, my mom always said, you don't have to go to Africa to be a missionary, you just have to show up to work. I mean, if you show up to an orchestra, I guarantee at least 80% is not Christian. The environment in an orchestra is so negative. It's a very depressed environment, and there's so much discontentment. And to just be an example of what contentment looks like, that itself makes a statement. And so mission work, it's right where you are working. And that's really impactful, that God is using you. He doesn't have to use you, but he wants to use you exactly where he's placed you. And Sometimes you are the only Christian there. And so he's called you there and he's placed you there for a reason.
Yeah, when we are in a different country and they speak a language that is not natural language or we don't understand at all, and that was the case, you always depend on somebody else to help, and sometimes you want to say something very important and you feel very limited, and you always depend on someone else to be with you, and you lose a lot of time. Sometimes you lose opportunities. Sometimes you be frustrated that you don't know if the translator translated well. And sometimes you speak and you see people's reaction in a different way that you're thinking, because sometimes the translating wasn't like 100% accurate.
I mean, it's always out of your comfort zone. The first time I went, I honestly did not have a good time because I had just started my job, so I didn't know anybody, and I had just moved. And so that experience, not only was it a lot of adjustment and like insecurity, I don't know anybody, but especially because people don't speak your language, not only are you having to have courage to go sit down with new people, you don't even know if they speak your language. So I would go sit down at a table after really like amping myself up and be like, okay, just go sit at the table, just go sit at the table. I'd sit down and it's like a full German table and like nobody speaks English, and they're like, sorry, we don't speak English. And I'm like, what do I do? So it was many experiences like that last time, and so it was just, I think, emotionally hard, especially. But this time, I honestly was surprised that I had so much fun.
When we were in Mozambique and I was able to speak in Portuguese, that is my mother tongue, is so fluent, it's so easy, to connect and to express and to preach. So when you are in a foreign country that is not your language, that limits you a lot. And everything that you want to talk, you spend like double or triple of the time. Every connection, it seems that it takes so long,
This last trip, I actually felt way more peace than I usually do. And I was thinking while I was traveling and experiencing this peace, I was thinking, the last time that I did this trip, or any of the trips before, there were only a few people who were praying for me. And this time, like, I had my whole small group praying for me. I had so many people at church praying for me. Like, I felt so supported.
I want to thank everybody, that support me to go there. All the prayers, all the notes, all the texts, all even the financial support. We weren't able to do what we did without your prayers and your help and your support.
I think every person, especially every Christian, needs to experience praising the Lord in several tongues. God is so much bigger than what's right in front of us.